Hey, so today we are going to make chicken and rice. It's a good, easy dish that you can make anytime. It's easy for kids to make, and these are the ingredients you'll need. You'll need some kind of chicken. I prefer the boneless, skinless chicken thighs because they're easy to just put in the water and boil, and you don't have to pick all the bones out. Make sure you got all the bones and all the skin and all that kind of stuff. So I usually get this kind of pack for it's like got 6 in it, and that's really a good size to have a good amount of chicken in your chicken and rice. So this is about 2 pounds, about 1.5 pounds, excuse me. And so there you go, chicken. Your next staple is your rice. I like to use Uncle Ben's original parboiled rice. It makes it really good. It's not sticky and gummy. Okay. Then you'll also need, I like to put a can of cream of chicken soup in it. Makes it really creamier, gives it good flavor. And what good Southern cook can't go without butter? Putting a stick of butter in it. And lastly, you'll need salt and pepper. My granddaddy gave me this recipe, and you gotta have pepper, especially if you're having chicken and rice in the summertime when there's lots of gnats. You put extra pepper in it, and then you can't tell if you have gnats in your chicken and rice or pepper. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to have to do, oh, and I forgot, you also need a little water. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to boil our chicken. So we'll fill up this pot of water with water and put our chicken in it. We'll salt and pepper and boil our chicken until it's done. Okay, so we have our water in our pot. I'm going to put the chicken, and make sure you keep the fat on it because that's what gives it the flavor. And I will put it in here. I did about maybe 6 cups of water, but you're going to use the water, this is going to make chicken broth, and you're going to use it to make your actual rice. So this is all the water that you're going to be using, okay? So make sure you have enough. We'll turn it on about medium high. We will add salt. I never measure on this, so I can't tell you. And we will add some pepper. And let's try this end. A little bit of pepper. That's all that's in there. But luckily, I have some more pepper. I'll add a little more pepper. And you can add the pepper after you get the rice in. But, so this is what we'll start with. We'll cover it up. We'll let it boil until it's done. And then we'll go from there. So we have our chicken boiled. It's been boiling for about 25 minutes, give or take a couple. And we have our broth. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the chicken out of the broth. And I'll put it on this little plate here. Take it all out. Kind of shrank up a little bit, didn't they? Get all the big pieces out. See, it's just falling apart right now, so that's good. That's what we want. We want it to fall apart. And now it's good and done. Okay, so I think that's all of it in there. So now we have our broth left. What I like to do is I like to take a couple of forks or a knife and just kind of tear the chicken apart so that you don't have these big old clumps of chicken in your rice. You don't want them too small, but then you don't want those big old clumps of chicken when you go to eat your chicken and rice. So we tear it apart. Fun times. I got these big old forks too. These are actually serving forks, or forks for big people with big mouths. That's funny. Okay, so tearing it all apart, just about got it all done. Alright, so there we go. We have our chicken ready to go there. Alright, so what we'll do is we will take another pot. I like to use 2 pots because sometimes I won't use all of that broth. And I have measured out, we're going to do 12 servings. So I have 3 cups of my Uncle Ben's parboiled rice. And we'll need about 6 cups. It says go to 6, but I usually do a couple more because it will dry out, and I don't like dried rice. So we'll go 1, and we're just taking this broth. It's already got the good flavoring to it. It has, remember, we put salt and pepper in it, and it's not quite 2. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so remember I said we might need a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to do an extra cup just in case. It's not quite full either, but that's okay. Now, save it because you may need it later. Alright, so we'll put that there. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our, we'll go ahead and turn that on about medium. I got it on 5. So we'll open our cream of chicken soup. Nice, so we're going to make this nice and creamy. Excuse me while I get a spoon. Alright, so we'll put our cream of chicken soup mix right in here. Get it all over there. Okay. You don't have to add this. You don't have to, but I like to because it just adds a little bit creamier chicken, a little bit better flavor. Okay, so we got that, and we'll come over here, bring it over here so you can see it. I hope you can see it. Okay, we'll stir it, mix it all up. Alright, so I'll put that back over there. I hope I'm in the picture. If not, I apologize. Then we take our butter, our stick of butter, okay, and we're going to put, and I'll tell you, if you leave it out and let it get soft, it works so much better. We'll take it and just kind of slice it a little pieces so it will melt in there, because that broth is hot. That butter will melt. So we put a whole stick of butter in there. Okay, and there's our butter. Okay, so we got the butter in there, and we've got the cream of chicken, little chicken soup in there. I'll come back over here and let you guys see it. Alright, so we're going to let it melt and stirring. If I had a whisk, it would be good to whisk the soup so it won't have little lumps in it. So once it gets pretty much all melted, see there's still a couple little lumps of butter. That's okay. We're going to add our rice, 3 cups of rice. Add it right on in there. Turn that up a little bit to about medium high. Stir it up and let it get boiling. We're also going to go ahead and put our chicken in. That chicken can get that flavor of that cream chicken soup. Okay, so at this time, all we have to do is wait for the rice to cook, okay? And it usually takes about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer, but I'll keep coming back checking it, stirring it a little bit, scraping it off the bottom of the pot. You don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pot. We may have to add some more of the chicken broth. And we'll also need to taste test for if it needs to add more salt, okay? I always never put enough salt. So once it starts boiling, we'll do a taste test and see how that broth tastes, okay? So we'll cover it up, and now we wait. Okay, so it's been cooking a little while now, and so I'm going to come back and I'm going to stir from the bottom, just raking my spoon across the bottom. I don't want to stir. Just going to rake it across. Make sure there's nothing sticking. So I'll let you look at it. Okay. Now, it is kind of thick, so I'm probably going to go ahead and add another cup of broth. Remember, we saved our broth just for this purpose. All right. So we'll put another little scoop of broth in there. One more. And once you cook this a couple of times, you will know when to add some more broth and when not to. But the longer it cooks, the drier it'll get. Okay? Alright, so what I want to do now is I want to do a little taste test and see if it's salty enough, okay? So you take a clean spoon, alright? You don't usually do this, but you take a clean spoon, okay? Just get a little bit of it over there. Cover it back up, let it cook. Give it a taste. Put the spoon in the sink, because you don't want to use it again. And what we'll do, I think it needs a little more salt, so we'll just add just a little bit. Remember, add a little bit at a time, because you can't take the salt out. You can put it in there, but once it's in there, it's in there. Okay? We'll give it one more little stir. And I'm not seeing a lot of pepper, so I'll go ahead and add some pepper to it. Okay, some people don't like pepper. I kind of like pepper in my chicken and rice, so I'll let you see it. Okay, that's what it's looking like. I'll give it a stir. See, I'm just scooting it on the bottom so that if you look, you can see the rice is starting to cook. All right, we'll back her up. Put the lid back on and wait some more. So our chicken and rice has been cooking for about 25-30 minutes, and it's looking like it's about done. However, remember I told you that the longer it cooks, the drier it'll get. It'll cook out all the moisture. And if you see, that's just what it's done, okay? So I'm not quite ready to eat yet, but I'm going to stir from the bottom. I like to put this down. Stir it from the bottom, make sure it's not stuck on the bottom of the pan. And you notice, this is real important, you don't want gummy rice. Just stir it gently, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, since I'm not ready to eat yet, but it's about done, okay? I'm going to add another cup of broth. And you can just add water, but since I have broth, I'm going to use it because it gives it more flavor. Okay, go ahead and add about a cup and a half. All right, and it'll cook a little bit longer. That soup, the cream of chicken soup that I put in there, that needs some extra moisture, I guess you'd say, liquid in it. Okay, so we are pretty much there. Let's give you one more look. Okay, and when I get ready to eat, we'll come back and try it. Too bad you can't get any. I'm sorry. That was not very nice, was it? Alright, so we're going to cut it down to low as it'll go. As low as it'll go. And we wait. till it's time for supper. Guess what time it is? It's supper time. Let's see how it tastes here. So I'm going to take my spoon, give it one last stir. Remember, it's just a rake at the bottom there. Getting off the bottom. Take a little bit. I'm going to use this cup. Turn it off. See how it tastes. Hot. Oh my, that's pretty good. Well, I hope you've learned how to make this chicken and rice. It's taken me about 45 minutes to an hour it can cook probably a little bit longer, but remember, you don't want it to dry out, okay? So keep that broth and you can just add that broth to it, okay? Try it. I want you to try some. I want you to cook some. I want you to let me know how it turns out. All right. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later.